Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and you are back in the new week fully recharged and full of energy to kick it off. I am back as well and going to tap into a very, very important topic all about stress and the stress of leadership. It's very close to my heart because, first of all, I have lived that way too deeply and having seen way too many people being completely stressed out, and it seems like it became the new normal. And I just want to really emphasize on how much this is not normal. And we have so many tools to use and utilize to overcome and not to be stressed out and not to harm ourselves every single day, all the time. So I will tap into and explain a little bit about what is stress. We'll give you some interesting data in the background. We'll explain also about what is going on in our body and mind when we are stressed out, because when we assign some meaning behind the behavior, that will also change our perspective, how we understand or how seriously we take to really finally learn some tools to help ourselves in any such situation. So I will give you a couple of tools as well, and we'll go even deeper throughout the week. So I'd like to invite you to keep an eye on my live sessions throughout this week, because I will go into what it does in the brain, how our brain is responding to stress, how our emotions are playing a very, very important role when it comes to stress, and how can we build our stress management toolkit in a personalized way to help ourselves in an instant whenever these situations arise. So, before I dive in, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Silvia Vitos. I'm a leadership well-being coach and consultant. Myself, having spent 15 years in corporate environment up to executive management level, today I help executives and senior leaders to find that balance inside out so they too can live a happy and healthy and as well a long life. I do that by tapping into all key areas such as mindset, physical well being, emotional intelligence, and the spiritual well being part too. So come with me on this journey. I keep coming back every single day with a short 15, 18 minutes live sessions and giving you real practical tools and insights, something related and very closely linked to our health and well-being, always through the lens of leadership. So what is really stress? Um, there is no clear definition as such, just because the same situation that might cause stress in one person might be something really enjoyable for the other. But in general, stress is our psychological, physiological, and emotional reaction to an event or condition that we perceive as a threat or a challenge. So, something how we react under pressure will be basically a stress response. And it's very important to take a glimpse look at the stress evolution, because initially and evolutionarily, the stress response was incredibly important in human beings. Then at that time, it was about really life death experience. Whether or not we were eaten up for dinner by a tiger that was chasing us. So we really needed that active stress response, which is also the fight, flight, or freeze response in our body system, so that we could shut down all other function in the system, in our physical system, and just put all our energy and all our focus on the threat, so we could run away, we could just freeze. And survive in a very short period of time. So back then, thousands of years, tens of thousands of years ago, the stress response was really utilized in a short period of time and not 24/7 like it does happen today. So nowadays, the challenge is that we show a very similar stress response, but for a very different reason. So the tiger is no longer the tiger. It's actually our boss, maybe some toxic events happening around us, maybe yet another organizational change that has to be coordinated through over the next coming time. Or maybe it's your spouse on the personal side, or some financial challenges that you may be facing. So see, it's no longer necessarily about life or death situation. Nevertheless, our body and our physical, mental, emotional uh, system is responding exactly the same way as if it was a life death experience. So, what really happens in our body when it comes to stress response? And I'm going to share here a quick, just one page slide with you that you can follow through, because once you understand that, you will also understand why is it important to have those tools, become aware of what's going on, and use the tools to get our physical body back to a neutral state of being. So the autonomic nervous system is really uh, just a complex network of cells that controls the body's internal state, such as heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, digestion. So all the basic bodily functions are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. And that has two very important parts, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, without going too deep into biology, I only want you to understand that it never goes hand in hand. So the sympathetic part of the autonomic nervous system is the fight or flight. You can easily recall by the S sympathetic, S equals stress. So that's the stress response. That's what kicks in when we are stressed out. You can see on the page what really happens in our physical body when that stress response is active. Our pupils will be enlarged, the heart rate increases, we may start to sweat, our breathing will be very fast and shallow, and so on and so forth, tense muscles, and so on. Now, the other part of autonomic nervous system is the parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. You can recall with the starting letter P equal to peace. And when that part of the nervous system is active, that's where we are in a natural state of being, where we have relaxed muscles, lower heart rate, we feel more aligned and just in charge, in control. Our breathing will be naturally slow and deeper than otherwise. In that part, also our digestion, our immune function, all that is functioning properly. Not so when the sympathetic nervous system is active. The challenge is these two never are switched on at the same time. It's always either or. So whenever we are stressed out, that means that our immune system is downregulated, our digestion is downregulated, our heart rate will go up, breathing will be very shallow and fast. So you see, our normal physical function will be completely downregulated. This is why when you are stressed out too much, then you easier will fall sick, or you will have sleep problems, or you will have digestive issues and challenges, or maybe it even goes into other chronic diseases, because this is why inflammation will be occurring in your body. And when inflammation is actually the root cause of most chronic diseases at the end of the day, which develops over time. But if you consider stress response being stressed out is normal, because who is not stressed out nowadays, then you can expect to end up with one or another diagnosis over a period of time. And we don't want to get there. We don't want to reach that point before we start taking action. And solution is absolutely available. So now I just come back on the screen from this picture. Why it is also so incredibly important to have an understanding and use the tools, whatever you can learn and utilize. As I looked back data, I love looking at data and science and have the baseline on whatever I'm talking about. In 2022, research has found that 74% of people felt so stressed out that they have been just overwhelmed and unable to cope. Now, looking at the executives and leadership roles, 69% of executives are just thinking about quitting because of their well-being. This is an incredibly scary high number. People, there is help out there. There are solutions and practical elements that you can incorporate into your everyday life in at whichever level you are on the executive ladder. Use those, because you want to be there for long and contribute to the world, to your family, to your loved ones, and everybody around you. So coming back to the leadership related effects of stress, think about it. When you are stressed out, you cannot really necessarily control your communication. At least you won't be able to use effective, assertive type of communication with anyone really around you. You won't be able to have the most effective and efficient negotiation skill if you are facing, let's say, a deal to be discussed with a customer of yours. Problems arising every single day and challenges, and we need to find solutions as leaders or be in charge, coordinate those solutions with our teams. But when you are completely stressed out, you're going to have a hard time to think clearly and see the solution and the opportunities as such. Not to mention the impact on decision making, because this is not the time to take informed and wise decisions. This is the time when we usually take decisions that we regret the day or two later on. So what are the most common sources of stress, especially at the workplace or people who are in leadership roles? One is the workload. And again, here there are plenty of tools for you to be in charge and be able to at least coordinate, communicate properly what's going on in your table and in your environment, and how to delegate what can be delegated, how to set boundaries, how to be more productive, how to make the most out of your time. Plenty of things where 100% you will be able to implement one or two. The other one is the pace of internal change. And I have went through all kind of dynamics. I have guided through, as a general manager in organizations, I've guided through teams through major acquisitions, merging teams together with completely different cultures, diversity, operational system, and whatnot. But it doesn't even have to be this level of or this caliber of change. Change is almost an everyday act in any corporate organization, and that is causing a lot of stress, especially if we are not in that acceptance, solution driven, and opportunistic point of view or perspective. And the other one is, or the third one is, lack of career progress, which oftentimes creates that inner tension and frustration in leaders if they are not able to move forward as fast as they really wish to. So you see, there is a lot of data out there. Actually, don't want to bore you too much with all that, but those leaders, and that's also based on data I'm saying here now, those leaders who are equipped with the relevant psychological, mental, as well as emotional skills to handle stressful situations, they are the ones who will be able to manage the emotions, manage the worried thoughts which are coming up every day, pretty much. They are the ones who will be able to stay focused even under pressure and stay productive. And they are also the ones who will be able to build resilience and adapt quickly and bounce back from any difficult times. So, this is why it is really important to embrace those tools, be open to learn about those tools, and see what fits your personal situation and what is it that you can implement for yourself. So, what is it that you can do? Because as a leader, again, I cannot emphasize this enough how important it is to think about how your actions will play a role. Your actions, your behaviors, and your state of being will play a very important role because it does have an incredible ripple effect. It will not just impact the people who, let's say, report to you or are around you. Those people will bring it back home, and that will have an impact on their spouse, on their children, on their friends, and direct families as well. So you have an incredibly huge role here to play, and you have the choice to drive change, to be the role model for these people so that they can really follow you and step up also for their own career and being, and learn from you how to handle stressful situations. And you can also consider, as I said, many small changes throughout your workday that will drive this well-being aspect, and it will again have a ripple effect overall. Like just a simple check-in with your team. How are you feeling today? How is the mood that day? And how are the vibes? And just be curious about their well-being in a genuine way. You can schedule one-to-one meetings as a walk. So why not move a little bit around in the office or even around the building? It's now very enjoyable, even being in Dubai, if you are there. So take a walk while having a conversation with someone, and allow yourself recharge time so that your team also can get permission to allow themselves recharge time. And I will give you more insights on that. How is that so incredibly important, and how that impacts in return productivity, well-being, emotional state of being, and all that around. So if you are curious, where do you stand on this stress barometer as such, and you would like to explore what it would be like from your personal perspective to develop these skills and manage stressful situation mentally, physically, emotionally, or even in a spiritual way, then now I have two spots open for individual coaching possibilities. First come, first served. So you are most welcome to book a consultation. You find the link in my bio actually on the platform. You can just click on it and directly book a consultation, which is completely complimentary. It's really to just check in with each other, whether it could be a good match to work together, and we can take it from there. If you have any kind of questions, or maybe some certain topic that you really would like to hear more about throughout these live sessions, feel free to drop me a DM or reach out to me on any of the availabilities, and we'll be more than happy to incorporate those topics into my live appearances, because I'm here to serve, I'm here to help and support your leadership journey from the well-being perspectives. So tomorrow I will be back again, and we'll drive you into the interesting world of brain function, brain waves, finding focus, productivity through understanding how the brain waves are responding to our physical, mental, emotional state of being that will yet again bring you a little bit closer in understanding what is really the serious impact of stress on our body and how you can overcome those. There will be plenty of those tools shared throughout the week. Looking forward, connecting with all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful rest of the day and week ahead. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.